Hey, Young Teacher Thoughts here, coming at you with another video. We're going to do a little bit of planting today. So I have my Venus Flytrap here. It's one that I got, it was last fall sometime, and I've grown it in a windowsill in a container of water, and I had it successfully bloom. So I do have a previous video where I feature the pollination of this, and now we're finally ready to go ahead and look at the results. So what we're going to do is we're going to harvest the seed, and then I'm going to build a little bit of a tray to rest this in one of my water gardens and see if we can get those Venus flytrap seeds to germinate. So I'm going to bring you in a little bit closer and we're going to look at what's going on here, and then I'll kind of show you the whole step. Okay, so as we can see here, this is our seed head. This is the one where the seeds actually did set in it. This other one, I don't believe they did. So we're going to go ahead and harvest this. We're going to put it down here in the tray, and then we're going to sift through it looking for the seeds. Now the other thing is we're going to save this stem, and we're going to do another bit of a tray, because I've heard rumors and seen photos that people can take these and cut them into sections, put them into some moist soil, and they will actually, after a few months to a year, will actually sprout and form another plant. So we're going to look into that too. But first, let's go ahead and harvest this seed head. And I'm going to do this in a nice glass container. Just going to kind of harvest it up here, making sure that the container is there to catch the seed, which I can already see. That is a seed-shaped object, so that must be part of what we're looking for. And then I'm going to gently massage these seed heads. I think only this one is one that caught seed. And we're going to kind of work with that. Yeah, I would say only one of them had any seed in it. The rest of these do not feel that they were successful. Oh, and we even got a thrip. A couple of thrips. There's a thrip there. Get rid of him. Yeah. There's another one hiding in there. I'm not going to worry about that. Okay, so that is one seed head. We'll go ahead and do the other one. Well, this one may have had some seed set. Yep. And I just saw that seed jump out. So we have a few seeds. This will be nice. So I didn't have a second Venus flytrap. This is all self-pollinated. I can feel some seeds there. So as people that do plant breeding would say, this one's been selfed. So it was just pollinated back to itself. Okay. There's one of the seed heads there. We'll just kind of, oh, I think I lost a seed, but I'm not going to go search for it. We're going to make sure that we've got everything out of this one. All right. Bring that up nice and close. You can see the little seeds. They're kind of teardrop shaped, and then you've got some stamen in there. So we'll get these all separated out. I'm going to just tuck them over on this side. And you might ask how in the world I know which one of these, what part is the seed. Well, one of the nice things about plants is, for the most part, seeds come out seed-shaped. So if you're looking through a pollinated or a spent flower bloom and you find something that resembles what could be a seed, if it walks like a duck and it talks like a duck, it's most likely a duck. So if it looks like a seed and it acts like a seed, it is most likely a seed. So that's what we're doing, is we're collecting things that resemble seeds of other shapes from other plants. In this case, they are small, they are black, and they are teardrop shaped, which is a pretty common shape for seeds. So that's what we're sorting out. Okay. So with this, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 different seeds there. So that is a lot coming out of one Venus flytrap. I'm glad I didn't pollinate more, because I don't need more than 21 Venus flytraps. In fact, I don't know what I would do with them. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and move it up to the next bit of the process. So that is all of our seed right down here in that corner. You can see all that black seed down there. And then what we're going to do next is we're going to go ahead and build a container to hold our pots that we're going to use in one of our water gardens. So I'm just using a lighter peat perlite mix. There's a little bit of stray bark in there, or wood from when this peat was harvested. And this is going to be very, very similar to what these plants were used to. I could use a straight peat mix, but this is what I've got, and this is my standard sunshine mix number 4. So we're going to use that. And then the idea is that we're going to submerge these in our water gardens. So let me go show you those. So these are a couple of my water gardens. In them I have my water lilies that I went through and subdivided this year with my students. What we're going to do is we're going to create a little bit of a device that's going to hold this right at about the top level of our water garden. So it's going to hold it right about there. And what that is going to do is it's going to allow water to come up and go down as the level of water changes in our water garden. So I'm not going to have to worry about watering these. I'm just going to set this right in there in the container. The water will wick up from the bottom, and then as I fill and the water evaporates, that level is going to come up and down in that pot. And as long as I keep this soil level up above the surface of this rim, I'm not going to have problems with it flowing out. Peat moss is really good at absorbing water, so it's going to maintain that moisture, and then it's going to move from it's going to basically move through the entire layer of peat moss all the way up to the top. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and create some of those little baskets that we're going to use, and then we will carefully sprinkle our seed over the top, and we're going to just grow this outdoor in our normal daily weather here in North Idaho, and just kind of see what happens. From my research, it usually does take a couple of weeks for them to start germinating, but any seed that's been kept that's fairly new should have a good chance of germinating. And if I get 1 or 2 plants that result as this, I'll be fairly happy. But I wanted to kind of use these as a way to germinate and raise my seed from the fly traps in more of a more natural manner, but also in a lesser care for something for me, so I don't have to worry about going in and making sure that they have water. They'll just be taken care of by the water feature, and it'll add a little bit more dimension to this water feature. Is in more than just water lilies, especially as these are new starts, so they're only a couple of months old. So they're most likely not going to bloom this year, and it's going to give me something else to look forward to in these. All right, so let's go ahead and start working on building one of the water feature or the germination tray mesh baskets that we're going to use. All right, so what I have to build my tray is I have some 1.5 by 1 doweling that I purchased. This is something for putting stakes in the garden, as far as, you know, staking up your tomatoes and such. And I've gone ahead and cut it so that it comes part way across my water garden, and this is going to keep it from falling down in. I have some other things that we're going to do to secure that, to make sure that that doesn't go down. But what we need to do is create a wire mesh basket that's going to hold this container, and it's going to be attached to this. So we're going to go ahead and work on that now. And what I've chosen to use is we're going to just use some chicken wire. So I'm going to cut about a 1-foot section of chicken wire off, and then we're going to create a basket about it and then suspend it in this water container. To do that, I'm just going to use some diagonal wire cutters, and going to get about 1 foot by 1 foot. It doesn't really matter on specific measurements. For you, it's going to be basically whatever fits your container that you're doing. So mine, I have one that's about 5 inches by about 9 inches, roughly. I haven't measured it, but I guess it's somewhere around there. It's an old style of pony pack. It's a pony pack tray, or a seed tray that My family has had them as long as I can remember. I think they're probably from the 70s, so it's almost as old as I am. But we're going to put it to good use today. Okay, so I'm just going through and trimming my wire. And as you're doing this, if you don't work much with chicken wire, I would recommend wearing some leather gloves, because chicken wire is always sharp after you cut it, and invariably you're going to get yourself. Okay, so there's our 1 foot section. We're going to go ahead and form this now. I'm going to take this and I'm going to roll that over my dowel rod. So it goes all the way over, and then I'm going to use these little cut ends to help secure it back to the other chicken wire. Okay, so we're just going to kind of roll that back over, just making a little bit of a basket. All right, so we've got one part of our basket here. We're going to just kind of adjust that so it comes down almost square with the bottom, just kind of hand forming that. Okay. Then I'm going to make an end to it. So I'm going to cut back across here, kind of make an end, and bring up the other part of our basket. Okay, so I've made a little bit of a basket shape. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the rest of that, get this one out of the way. I'm just going to form it down around the edge of my pot, and it's going to act a little bit like another piece of support structure on the other side. So I'm just going to kind of roll that out around, tuck in some of those sharp edges, and that's going to be on the outside. And when I put this one back over it, it will help hold that in. Okay, so I've got that there. I'm going to bend down any of those sharp pieces so that I don't injure myself later. Make sure that that basket is still square on the bottom. Then we're going to wrap a piece of wire all the way around and make sure that we've got that seed tray secured. Okay, we're going to feed that wire through our piece, our support structure that we made on that side. Okay, and I'm just using a little bit of aluminum fencing wire, just electric fence wire. It's cheap, it's easy to get, easy to form, easy to cut. I'm going to bring that all the way around. I'm going to make just a twisted connection over here to allow that to stay in the water and keep our seeds nice and moist as they germinate. So let's go ahead and get the tray. So I've had this tray just sitting in a bucket of water so that it can soak all the way through, and it was just sitting about halfway. So that has wicked all the way up in there. So that is, the soil is nice and moist now, and we don't have to worry about anything else happening with it. We're going to just sit it down in our basket, and just as planned, it's going to stay up right above the layer of everything else. And we won't have to worry about our soil falling over the edge. So let's go ahead and add our seed, and then we'll be off and running. All right, so I have our seed down here, and I'm going to carefully take a dampened finger, and I'm just going to just drop them in. And then once they germinate, that's when I will worry about coming in and separating them and spacing them out, because that should be fairly easy. Oops, I think I lost one. Oh, it's okay. We have 21 of them. So if you watched my video on petunia seeding, kind of treating these the same way. Oh, I know a couple of those are right next to each other. Oh, those are pretty slick seeds. You know what? I will just do this. Get those last few seeds that keep slipping out. There's that last one there. All right, so that is our Venus flytrap seeds. They've been seeded in our little seed bed that's secured in our water garden. I'm probably going to move this all up to one of my shaded areas so that I don't have to worry about these overheating or burning in our really hot North Idaho sun. But anyways, as always, I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed. Ag Teacher Thoughts out.